Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a Victoria suspect faces charges of continuous violence against a family member.
A Texas judge recommended overturning the conviction of a mother on death row. The details in the 2007 case this evening.
And President Joe Biden and Donald Trump are slated to have their first presidential debate at Texas State University.
Well, the cloud deck was hanging tough today. We didn't see much in the way of sunshine, but it still got up into the 80s. Question is that weekend rain materialize? We'll have all that coming up in a moment.
And last night, the Edna Cowboys stunned Columbus. Their playoff hopes alive, and we could have East versus West Part 3 in baseball. That's in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Police in Cuero are investigating the death of a 52-year-old man. Tuesday, someone found Martin Luther Heron in a backyard at a home in the 100 block of Milligan Street. At this time, authorities believe the death was an accident. It appears Heron fell and hit his head. The Travis County Medical Examiner will conduct an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. Tuesday morning, Goliad County deputies stopped a stolen truck from another jurisdiction as it was passing through on its way south towards the border. The 25-year-old male driver from Laredo was arrested. Authorities have not released the name of the suspect. He remains in the Goliad County Jail in lieu of $45,000 bond.
Victoria police arrested a 30-year-old suspect Monday. Ismael Condrelli is charged with violation of a protective order and continuous violence against a family. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a $60,000 bond. And Victoria County deputies arrested a 30-year-old Victoria suspect. Amanda Salazar is charged with manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance, money laundering, tampering with evidence with intent to impair, and having a prohibited substance in a correctional facility. She is held in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of an $80,000 bond.
Port Lavaca police arrested a 29-year-old suspect Monday. Nicholas Esparza faces 4 charges of aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. Esparza is in the Calhoun County Jail in lieu of $44,000 bond.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Lots of cloud cover over the area again today. There were a sprinkle here and a sprinkle there, but that's not really, okay, I know it's moisture, but it's not really rain showers. It's basically just the moisture getting wrung out of the cloud deck. Way out here in far west Texas, actually northern Mexico, there's some afternoon thunderstorms popping up. Will they be moving in our direction? We'll talk about all that coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. 4 suspects accused in the murder and kidnapping of 2 Kansas mothers faced a judge for the first time today. Tad Colum, Cole T. Wumley, Tiffany Adams, and Cora T. Wumley walked into the Texas County, Oklahoma courthouse separately in handcuffs with bulletproof vests this morning. Each suspect is charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy for the deaths of Jillian Kelly and Veronica Butler. Butler and Kelly disappeared while driving to Oklahoma to pick up Butler's children.
This shouldn't be our life. We lost a beautiful, beautiful young lady that would do anything for anybody.
The judge ordered the 4 suspects to be held without bond, citing proof of evidence or presumption of guilt is great. The next court appearance is set for May 15th.
A Texas judge recommended the conviction and sentence of a mother on death row to be overturned. The judge found prosecutors withheld key evidence that could have prevented Melissa Lucio from being found guilty in the 2007 death of her 2-year-old daughter. The evidence in question, a Child Protective Services report and interviews with Lucio's surviving children. The case now returns to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. That court 2 years ago halted Lucio's execution 2 days before it was to be carried out. A Russia-linked hacking group is suspected of carrying out a cyber attack on a water facility in the Panhandle in January. U.S. cybersecurity firm Mandiant says the hack caused a water tank to overflow for about 45 minutes in the small town of Muleshoe. Officials eventually took the machine offline and switched to manual operations. The incident did not affect drinking water in Muleshoe. If confirmed, this would mark an escalation of Russia targeting U.S. critical infrastructure.
A dozen of the nation's biggest news organizations are urging President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump to participate in televised debates ahead of this election.
The open letter published this week was signed by a group of major broadcast, cable, and print outlets.
When former President Donald Trump's primary opponents called on him to debate,
Donald Trump should be on this stage.
Don't you think it's high time he get on a debate stage?
he refused, skipping all 5 Republican debates. But now Trump is urging President Joe Biden to join him on the debate stage soon.
We have an empty podium right here to my right. You know what that is? That's for Joe Biden. I'm trying to get him to debate.
In a letter, the Trump campaign wrote, while the Commission on Presidential Debates has already announced 3 presidential debates and a vice presidential debate to occur later this year, we are in favor of these debates beginning much earlier.
I think he wants to look like the tough guy who wants to debate, but he has a lot of flexibility to get out of it.
Biden has not publicly committed to debating Trump, but he hasn't ruled it out either, telling reporters this last month.
Mr. President, will you commit to a debate with former President Trump? It depends on his behavior.
The first presidential debate is slated to take place in San Marcos, Texas on September 16th. That's 50 days before Election Day. The current schedule has the debate slated to take place earlier than in recent past. In 2020, the first debate between Trump and Biden took place just 35 days before Election Day.
The Salvation Army of Victoria Life Enrichment Center is a busy place these days. Since it opened on March 13th, 73 clients have been served at the center. The Life Enrichment Center at the Salvation Army of Victoria headquarters at 1302 North Lewis Street is offering educational classes. They include cooking well with diabetes and learning to budget on a limited income. The free medical clinic at the center will open May 8th. The Texas A&M Medical Residency Program is sending interns to work in the clinic.
Today, Governor Greg Abbott is in Victoria to endorse Jeff Bucknight in the May 28th runoff election for District 30. So here's your Veer poll. The question is, does Governor Abbott's visit today affect your vote? According to our results, it looks like 100% of the voters voted no.
Close vote.
We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And of course, we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10. Now, a reminder, early voting for the May 4th election starts next Monday, April 22nd. Early voting will be at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A. Early voting hours for the first week are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, here are some of the top headlines you can find in the Port Lavaca Wave. Seadrift Family Dollar is expected to close after their parent company Dollar Tree announced the closure of 600 stores in March. Plus, the Port West Calhoun is seeing an increase in the feral cat population and announced plans to remove and relocate the cat population elsewhere. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
Victoria County Sheriff's Office K9 Max received a bullet and stab protective vest. It's thanks to a charitable donation from nonprofit organization Vested Interest in Canines. This potentially life-saving body armor for four-legged canine officers is U.S. made, custom fitted, and certified. The program is open to U.S. dogs that are at least 20 months old and actively employed and certified with law enforcement or related agencies. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can get Crossroads Today on YouTube. Stay with us. A Corpus Christi softball team honors the memory of a 5-year-old little girl. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, their heartwarming testimonies.
Also ahead, Ford is recalling over 400,000 vehicles. Find out which ones straight ahead. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced he's moving forward with a vote on foreign aid for Ukraine. This as mounting pressure from Republican hardliners continues. The Speaker has been facing calls to make tweaks to the foreign aid package proposed this week. But Johnson plans to bring the series of foreign aid bills up for a vote come Saturday. Hardline Republicans are also threatening to motion to vacate, which would remove Johnson from the speakership if it passes.
Workers of the Volkswagen plant in Chattanooga, Tennessee begin voting tomorrow on whether they want to join the United Auto Workers Union. This will be the third UAW election at the Volkswagen Chattanooga plant since 2014. Governors of 6 states, including Governor Greg Abbott, issued a statement today opposing the UAW's unionization efforts. Their statement said unionization would put jobs in their states in jeopardy. The statement came also from the governors of Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and South Carolina. Ford is recalling more than 450,000 compact SUVs and pickup trucks in the U.S. A battery issue in the recalled vehicles might cause them to lose drive power. The models affected Ford Bronco Sport SUVs made between 2021 to 2024 and the Ford Maverick pickups made between 2023 to 2024. Ford discovered an undetected low battery charge could lead to a loss of hazard lights or cause a loss of drive power, increasing the risk of a crash. Dealerships will fix the issue for free.
Here's a look at some of the top headlines you can find in the Cuero Record. The Cuero City Council appoints Shannon Henson for District 1 and welcomes a new city police officer. And the city of Cuero prepares for early voting. Read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
In Corpus Christi, hitting a home run is more than magical for one high school softball team.
But it's their celebration at home plate that shines a light on the life of a 5-year-old.
Hitting a home run is one person, but knowing your team's there for you, and we all come together because we're a team. We have to care for each other. If we don't, it's not going to work out how we want.
We start jogging to home plate, and once I get there, I twirl, and then the whole team twirls after, and it's really special.
A simple twirl was inspired by 5-year-old Eva Elena Perez. She loved sports, supporting Santa Gertrudis Academy and Cal Allen softball from afar. They played in the state tournament last spring.
How do you think that the Lady Lions and the Lady Cats should play?
That's like me. Eva has family ties to Cal Allen. Although she never made it to a game while battling leukemia cancer, the Lady Cats made sure to honor her by winning Corpus Christi's first softball state championship.
We want this for you, Eva. Keep fighting. We love you, Eva.
Her fight continued until October 19th.
She was cancer-free. She just needed to finish treatment.
Eva's weakened immune system and a side effect of the chemotherapy caused a fungus in the lung.
They brought her back, but then her heart stopped again. It was not supposed to happen. It was, I don't know, her time.
The same night, Cal Allen received their state championship rings. A joyous occasion turned into a moment of silence.
I couldn't believe that it happened because she was a little girl and she was fighting for her life.
Knowing that someone we were caring for and knew she was supporting us, we have to do something back for her.
Honoring her after every home run with a twirl like Eva. Woo! Anyone that has met Eva describes her as a girly girl. She loved high heels, and when she learned how to twirl, that was one of her favorite things.
It doesn't mean that you have to know somebody to make somebody's day. And I'll tell you, not very many things make me happy when I think about Eva, because it's sad, I miss my daughter, but I saw that video of the home runs and the twirl, and I was so proud, and it made me feel like my kid would be proud. I really appreciate y'all keeping my baby in y'all's hearts and twirling for her on those bases, and it's a beautiful testament of who she was. Doing it for someone that could have played, and just I guess just doing it for someone that is up there and just looking down on us, and she was rooting for us, and
we're just glad to give back to her and her family.
Eva's memory will never be forgotten, and it starts with her birthday on May 25th. A blood drive will also be held in her honor.
Good evening, everybody. We, of course, had the cloud cover that sort of hung tough all day long. Tomorrow, there's not a lot of change, but it's that weekend rain that's a big question mark, and we will be talking about it coming up in a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. Not a lot of change on the cloud cover situation. We're sort of stuck in low gear here. 79 degrees right about now. That south wind continues blowing. We did manage to get up to 84. And here's the deal. If we didn't have any clouds, we probably would have hit the 90s. So it's okay. I'll take the clouds. The overcast will be with us through the night and into tomorrow, your Thursday. And then probably on Friday, things start to change as we start watching that little cool front coming in from the Pacific coast. But you can see pretty much most of the state is under that cloud deck. Now, way out here in far west Texas, actually in the mountains of northern Mexico, we do see some afternoon showers popping up here. You can see them right there. The moisture basically is coming up from the southwest. It hits the mountains, and we get these thunder showers. The thing is, occasionally they'll cross the Rio Grande, but they usually fall apart right here because our pressure is a little bit higher. So we'll just watch that, because even today, this area does have a very slight chance, marginal opportunity to get something going in terms of thunder showers. But once the sun goes down, it all collapses because it loses its energy. Now, tomorrow, there's a severe weather outlook for much of central and north Texas. You see right about there. We're not included, which is okay, but let's just say that we'll watch that stuff pop in the afternoon and then decrease at night. It's not till Saturday when everything sort of moves in our direction. But get a load of this, temperatures into the 80s, and then what happens here? Oh, nice 70s. You know, I'm really excited for 70s because, you know, when will we see another 70 once the summer rolls around? Looking at 85 tomorrow, and you can see how in western areas where they do get breaks in the cloud cover, they're going to be in the 90s with upper 90s along the Rio Grande. Of course, along the coastal areas, it'll be mid 80s because of that cloud deck. Here's Future Tracker, and you can see what's happening here. This is the stuff I was telling you about. It rolls into Texas and then falls apart. All right, that's for Thursday. As we get into Friday, you'll see how they'll pop again in the afternoon and they'll roll toward the east and should be falling apart out in that area. Again, on Saturday, then all this starts moving in because of that frontal system over there. So we're sort of caught between the humidity and the dry air out west. Here is Saturday, and you can see we have a pretty good chance of getting some shower activity. The front won't be here until Saturday night, and then a rain chance overnight into Sunday morning. But I think Sunday it'll generally clear up. The good news is that it'll be a little cooler. All right, we're looking mostly cloudy tomorrow, just a few breaks in the cloud deck. About an 82 down in Port Lavaca in Calhoun County. We're looking for maybe 3 rays of sun out in Cuero, still getting up to about 86. And then your 7-day forecast takes you all the way through the weekend. So 86 tomorrow, then 88 Friday with a little bit of sun. The front comes through Saturday night, and we just have a 30 to maybe 40% chance of rain Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then we get into the 70s for a couple of days, and that'll be nice. That is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And I'll toss it back to Karina.
Thank you, Mac. And now here's Zach Brown with your sports.
One NBA player gambled and lost for life. I'll have that in sports. So tomorrow evening at the U Sports Complex, Victoria East is going to welcome Gregory Portland to town. North Zone on the line, and the winner is going to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs. Last time the Titans faced the Wildcats, they lost 8-3, and they got swept in the season series. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in one season. Titans hoping the 3rd time's the charm as they try to get their biggest win of the year tomorrow night. Victoria East baseball has suddenly found themselves in a tight race for the postseason. Did not help their cause last night. They fell to Ray 6-1, and we have quite the scenario on our hands. If the Titans can bounce back and beat Ray this Friday, they will play Victoria West on Saturday for 2nd place in the zone. If they lose, they will play Gregory Portland for a shot at 3rd in the zone. Edna's playoff hopes really hanging in the balance, and with state-ranked Columbus Cardinals coming to town, seemed even dimmer, but the Cowboys stunned the Redbirds 3-2 and handed them their 1st district loss on the year. They look to get another big one Friday when they play Palacios. The NBA has banned one athlete for life for violating its gambling policy. Last month, the league announced it was investigating anomalies in bets pertaining to Porter. The NBA probe found the 24-year-old gave confidential information to sports bettors, limited his participation in 1 or more games for betting purposes, and bet on NBA games. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver released a statement calling Porter's violation of the league's gaming rules blatant. The NBA said in a press release the league is sharing information with federal prosecutors. The league's investigation remains open and may result in further findings. In other NBA news, we did have the play-in last night. Golden State just did get in as the 10th seed took on Sacramento, and the Kings really took control in the third quarter. Keegan Murray for Sacramento had 32 points. Steph did all he could with 22 points in the game. Klay Thompson may have played his final game as a Golden State Warrior. He did not score a single point and was 0 for 10 from the field. Warriors are out. But the winner of this game was guaranteed a playoff spot. Battle between the 7th-seeded Lakers and the 8th-seeded Pelicans. Lakers leading by just one with less than a minute to go, but a D'Angelo Russell big three just about did it for the Lake Show. They go on to win. They will face the Nuggets in the first round, but the Pelicans not dead yet. They play Sacramento for a shot at that final playoff spot. Day one for the girls' regional golf tournament. Scores are in. Bryn Passmore, of Calhoun finishes day one tied for 53rd with a plus 32. Trinity Morgan of Calhoun as well is tied for 58th. Lenny DeMars out of Cuero comes in at plus 34 on the day, and Calhoun's Lily Gossett is at a plus 34 as well. That is it for your sports. Donna, Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach. We're back in a moment. A new flight training program will be held at a historic site in Alabama.
Finally tonight, Alabama's Tuskegee University will be the home of a state-of-the-art flight training program to prepare students for careers in the airline industry. It's geared toward providing opportunities for future African-American pilots who make up only 3% of all commercial pilots. Lift Academy students will train at historic Moton Field Municipal Airport, the same airfield where the legendary Tuskegee Airmen trained. The Lift Academy program will begin this fall. It's one of the great stories of our military in World War II, the Tuskegee Airmen and what they had to go through just to get in the planes and go overseas and help us win World War II.
And they did go and came back with all kinds of medals, so it's pretty good stuff, and the tradition continues.
Now, and a famous band, by the way, from the 70s, there were 6 students, and they all met at Tuskegee University, the Commodores. Remember the Commodores? Yes, Lionel Richie, yes.
Yeah.
They all met at Tuskegee.
I know Lionel Richie.
Yes.
I don't know the band, though.
Well,
yeah, they had a song called Brick House.
Oh, sing it. Oh, she's a brick.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's Lionel Richie started with that group.
How does it go?
House.
Hey. Anyway, folks, tomorrow we've got more clouds around the area. No major problems through the weekend until Saturday night, when we do have a slight chance of getting some shower activity around here. As that front comes through, it'll make your Sunday very comfortable down into the 70s. Back to you.
It'll make you sing. Hopefully not Zach, but hopefully it makes you sing. Thank you for joining us tonight.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.